So there was about 6 people that joined us on the Zoom meeting this morning. So I'm going to post what we went over. This was the PowerPoint we couldn't get to share on the screen. So if you were on the meeting, this is what I was going to show you. Instead, I just wrote it on the whiteboard when we were going over it. So contact information, email, which you can see listed, Remind message, Google Classroom, or you can text to that specific number, 901-290-3884. Extra credit. I do not give out extra credit. As you can see, some of the quizzes and tests you've taken on Google Classroom, they end with a bonus question where maybe you can earn those extra points. You will also be allowed to do any retakes on quizzes or tests that you scored poorly on Google Classroom, so the tests that I make. You will need to contact me and let me know specifically what quiz or test you want to retake, or if you're good with your grade, you can keep it like it is. If you retake it and you happen to score lower, I keep the higher grade. So don't be nervous to retake it and make a lower grade. I keep the higher one out of the two. As far as Edgenuity, it automatically grades as you go. So some of us, when you're allotted that hour and you're taking a quiz within 4 minutes and submitting it, we need to take a little bit more time because it's a more effort for me to go back and reset those for you. I have to go through this whole explanation of why you didn't score correctly the first go around. So just be sure that you are taking your time on Edgenuity. If you get locked out, email me or contact me in some way so that I can go unlock it so you can keep working. So, Edgenuity must be completed in full by May the 26th. You can see your overall score as you progress through, and everybody should have completed Unit 1 by the end of the day today, and at the latest, the end of the day next Friday, because next Friday ends your first 9 weeks. So be sure Unit 1's completed. If you're already starting in Unit 2, the dimensional analysis, you are on the right track and you keep it up. If you haven't finished Unit 1, it has got to be done within the next week. So you can see this is what it looks like for me. So this would be all of your Unit 1 task. You had solving, variable on one side, both sides, distributive, literal, one variable inequalities, and then your test. All of this is what needs to be completed by the end of the day next Friday. All right. Now, this is also what I see. If I see this by your name, it means you scored an 80%, you passed, you're ready to move on. If I see a blue, that means that you're working on it, it's in progress. And this is my key that you've gotten locked out and I need to reset it. Now I check this every other day. So if you get locked out, make sure you email me so I can unlock it the same day. Alright, so on yours, if you were to check your grade, this is a progress report example. Overall grade is what's going to go in Skyward. So this means out of the 9.8% completed, they scored overall, averaged together 73.7%, which we know would round up to a 74. At this point in this school year, you should be at a minimum of 7%. 7% means you have fully completed Unit 1, which is where you need to be by the end of next week. So if you're wondering where your grade comes from in Skyward, it is this overall grade based off of the portion that you've completed. This is the actual grade out of the entire class. So this person has done 6.6% of the entire course, and overall you would have a 64. But we go by what you've only done at this moment, so your overall grade. Alright, so yet again, this is all of Algebra 1 for Edgenuity. This is your layout for all your units. Unit 1 should be completed or almost completed. And representing relationships is what you should be working on now. So where did your grade come from in Skyward? You've got two options. Your first grade is Edgenuity, your second grade is Google Classroom. So the overall grade for each one are the 2 grades that you see listed in Skyward, which make up your overall Algebra 1 grade. Alright, so yes, you can upload work for Google Classroom from your cell phone. All you have to do is take a photo of your finished assignment and attach it when you turn it in. You can click on the link below and it will show you exactly how to upload the photo if you don't already know. So, few questions we had that we covered on the Zoom were solving equations. You can get one of 3 answers. We could have a specific number, x equals 2, a equals -9, b equals 10, and so on. Or we can end up with a no solution, which means there is not a single number that can make that equation equal each other. Or we have infinite, which means all numbers could be substituted into the equation and they will always equal each other. So one of 3 options when solving equations, which are problems that include equal signs. So here's an example. No solution. To solve this equation, we know our first step would be to distribute the -4. -4 times 2x is -8x. -4 times 1 is -4. Equals -8x minus 2. Well, we know we can't have variables on both sides. So to undo -8x, we would add 8x, but look at what happens. -8x plus 8x cancels. -8x plus 8x cancels. We bring down what's left. Ask yourself, is this a true statement? Does -4 equal -2? No, it does not. So this would be a no solution. So there is no possible number that could work as a solution to this equation. Let's take a look at an infinite solution. Step 1, we distribute. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times -3x is -9x. We combine like terms on the same side. 3 minus 8 is -5. And now, we can't have variables on both sides, so we're going to move the 9x over. To undo subtracting, we add. -9 plus 9 cancel. -9 plus 9 cancel. And we bring down what's left. And it says -5 equals -5. Is that a true statement? Yes, it is. -5 will always equal -5. So every number could work as a solution. So this is your infinite solutions possibility. So no solution and infinite solutions are possible answers when solving multi-step equations. Other things we covered, literal equations. We are going to solve literal equations just like solving regular equations, what we just looked at. So we're going to think of it like we are rearranging it to be solved for a different variable. So let's take a look at this equation. 2x minus 5 equals 13. Well, if we want to solve for x, step 1, add 5. -5 plus 5 cancel. 13 plus 5 leaves us with 18. Divide by 2. 2 over 2 cancel. So x equals 9. So we undid subtraction by adding, and then we undid multiplying by dividing. Over here on the right, we have our literal equation. It looks the same. Something times something minus something equals something else. Just like what was on the left-hand side. So to undo subtracting b, we add b. Well, -b plus b cancel. And we have ax equals c plus b. These are not like terms, so we don't combine them. Then we have to undo multiplying a by dividing. A divided by a would cancel out. So your final answer is c plus b divided by a. And if you see, we did the same exact steps on both sides. All right, so here's a link about literal equations on YouTube if you're still a little bit confused about it. Alright, so let's look at a couple of word problems. So if we look at this one, the larger of two numbers is 4 more than the smaller number. If the sum of the numbers is 74, find the numbers. Well, first off, 4 more than, we know that more than means that we need addition. So we're going to have to add. So to start with the word problem, you want to define your variables. We know we have two numbers, a smaller number and a larger number. So make it easy. X will be our smaller number. If the larger one is 4 more than, it will be represented by x plus 4. Step 2, the main part, it's very crucial that you can set up the equation correctly. So we know that the sum of these two numbers is 74. So we know sum, we're going to have to add these two together. X plus 4 is 74 means equals 74. And then we combine like terms. 2x plus 4 equals 74. Subtract 4, 2x equals 70. Divide by 2. 70 divided by 2 is 35. Your final step is to define your answers. Well, we want to know what the two numbers are. Well, x is your smaller number. So, x is 35. Your larger number is x plus 4, and 35 plus 4 is 39. Let's look at another one. The larger of two numbers is 7 less than 3 times the smaller number. If the sum of the numbers is 61, find the numbers. So we've underlined our key parts. So we're going to start with the same first step and define a variable. Still dealing with two numbers. So smaller number is represented by x, and the larger number is 3 times, so 3x, and 7 less than, minus 7. 7 less than 3 times the smaller number. We set up our equation. If the sum, so adding, of the two numbers is 61, so equals 61. So our smaller number x plus our larger number, 3x minus 7, is 61, equals 61. So combine like terms. 3x plus x is 4x. Undo subtracting 7 by adding. And then divide by 4. 68 divided by 4 is 17. Now your final step is to define the answer. And it wants you to find the numbers. So numbers. So you need two answers. And so we know our first answer is 17, our smaller number, and our larger number is going to be 3 times 17 minus 7, which is 44. And you can easily check your answer. 17 plus 44 is 61.